Fantastic. So, welcome everyone to all our colleagues across Canada and US. What an amazing video and a fantastic way to start this town hall. So, a big thank you first of all to all the pioneers across 30 sites who are so passionate about giving back to our local communities. And it is amazing what we can do in a single day to contribute back into our communities that support us across all the sites we operate across. And certainly it's not this spirit doesn't only come alive on one day. This spirit carries across the whole year, and it very much reflects our core values of also giving back to the communities that we are active in. And this is the third year now where we have the Community Impact Day. And each year it gets a little bit bigger, it gets a little bit more momentum. And again, a big thank you from the whole ExCom. We really admire your energy and dedication to this effort. So, also welcome to everyone from the North America ExCom. And Bob is not going to be able to join us today. He is busy with some other matters. However, we are all here and we will all be participating today in our ExCom, in our town hall. And I would like to start by also welcoming first Pierre, who took over the presidency of Henkel Canada a couple of months ago, and he's now heading our Henkel ExCom in Canada. So Pierre, welcome to your new role. Pierre is also the general manager for the Henkel Consumer Brands in Canada, and you've been around for more than 15 years, and I know you're right now in Mississauga. So Pierre and all the colleagues who are joining in Mississauga and all our 350 colleagues across Henkel Canada, a big shout out to all of you. Hope you are doing some high fives and some cheers in the room that you're all together in. And in the next few days, you will hear and learn more about Pierre also on our news hub. So we also have in our town hall agenda, in addition to our normal updates which we cover, we also have Prayarna Kalu, who is heading our DX team in North America, to give you an update on the progress that we are making in our artificial intelligence adoption. And Priyarna, we are very happy to have you today and looking forward to hearing from you what we are doing in AI update and what's more to come, as well as we'll hear from Jenny on some of the planned activities as we start 2026 with also 150 years of Henkel. And as always, we encourage everybody to participate in asking questions. So please take a moment to scan the QR code on your phones, or you can join with the meeting ID, and the meeting ID will be present in almost all the slides in the footnotes. So anytime you want to join Slido, please do so. And when you ask your questions, we always appreciate if you can share your name and business unit. It does help us to give a better context to where your question may be coming from. However, more important is you just ask the questions, yeah, and then we will do our best to answer all the questions that we will get in. So to start our town hall today, you will see a slide probably for the first time. And let me bring you a bit of a background why we shared this slide with you. So over the last couple of months, we've had a lot of time to now sit down and discuss as a North America ExCom. What are the commonalities amongst us when we represent 8,000 people with two business units with very well-developed corporate functions, where we all have a very clear strategy to act and a plan to win. So that is all in place, whether it's HAT, whether it's HCB, whether it's HR, whether it's finance and legal and so on. So we are quite clear in what we want to do. At the same time, we also had some good discussions, for example, with our shareholders committee, which is the highest decision body of Henkel, and they also visited us this year in North America. And we also had time to reflect. And North America is the single largest market and the single largest opportunity for the Henkel Group. So when we look at opportunities across the world and the market size across the world, North America is by far the largest market and the largest opportunity. So we said we have built an amazing business over decades. We have iconic brands in this business, and we feel everybody who I talk to carries a sense of pride when we talk about our business. So we are very proud about our business. So then we said, okay, what can bring us together? What do we really stand for in this business? So when we look at how we built a business, we have built an amazing business through acquisitions. When we look at how we have been driving growth, we feel we have a real opportunity to still make an impact by driving a consistent growth trajectory. So we felt that is something, if we bring our focus in, we can really do ourselves a lot more impact that we can do in our business. And that really brings us, that's a common thread when we look at all our businesses and all our work that we do. So we have an amazing opportunity to take our heritage that we have, capture the pioneering spirit that Henkel stands for, and if we leverage that, if we harness that, we become a driver of Henkel's growth. Yeah, and that's what we can do united across US and Canada. So as a united North America, we can do some amazing things. And we also feel strongly, we believe strongly, we want to provide everybody an opportunity, everybody who works in Henkel North America, an opportunity to thrive and create lasting impact. And if we do that, we build an amazing business for the generations to come. So that's how we derived this statement, which you will hear of and you will see more in the future town halls. But as we process it, we in the ExCom felt quite excited. I'm quite excited with this. My colleagues can also share their views as we all will now be sharing our updates. But we really feel this is the future. This is the future we can build. And this is the future in which we can all participate and thrive. So we drive growth, we create impact, and we really can be united in purpose in doing so. So with that, we come into our quarterly results of the third quarter of the year. And who better to take us in quarterly results than Martijn? Martijn, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Rajat. And of course, also good morning from my side. If we look to the third quarter, it's a quarter, I think, particularly for North America, to be absolutely proud about. Before we make a double click on North America, I want to take you for a second back also to the group. And that's also what you see on the slide, right? So the group, we grew 1.4% and both BUs were contributing. So it's plus 2.5 for adhesives and plus 0.4 for consumer brands. I think if you would look below those figures, what's even more important is that we see volume growth. And not only in North America, right? I will come to it in a second. But also if you look from an overall global perspective, we saw volume growth in both BUs. And again, as a reminder to all of us, of course, we want to sell more to our consumers, to our customers, right? I think that's very important. Obviously, price growth is important, but in this market, we of course also targeting very much the volume growth. If you look to the gross margin, again, a very strong development. And I think this was done on a global level, but particularly also in North America. We do share buybacks this year. And that's something, of course, that all of us are benefiting from in a way that then the share price typically will also increase. And there we are on track with what we announced. And finally, of course, we don't disclose our earnings on a quarterly basis, like most of you will remember. but we do disclose our guidance, and our guidance remains unchanged. And I think that's also very important, right? So we are still targeting the same OSG as we said back in August. And also, if you look to earnings, we are still targeting the same earnings and also high single-digit EPS growth. I overjumped one bullet point, right? And that's the fourth from the bottom. It's all about North America. And I think if you look back to the earnings release, this quarter was all about North America, all about us, all about the things that we did. And if you would double click on this and you go to the next slide, you also see why. So this quarter, we managed to grow our business, so 2.3% organic sales growth. And of course, all of us know we went through quite a rough period in terms of growth. Of course, also impacted by portfolio optimizations, by decisions we took ourselves. But you see now that we are back to growth. And I think this was a very important signal to the market. It's a very important sign to the market that North America is recovering. And as you know, the market has a big attention to what Henkel is doing in North America. Like Rajat rightly said, so it's the single biggest market is the USA, of course. And North America is overall for Henkel very, very important. That's why there's so much attention to it. I think for me, a second thing, which is something to be extremely proud about, if you look to the last 5 months, and for the sake of ease, I also took October into consideration, we see that we have 4 months of positive organic growth. And of course, that streak, we also plan to continue in the coming 2 months, right, until year end, and obviously also in 2026. But it's a very good track record, and particularly also realizing where we came from. If you look back to volume growth, I mentioned a couple of times, but we saw the highest volume growth, so plus 2.5% volume growth. It's the highest volume growth that we saw since Q2 of 2021. So we have to go back almost 4 years, a bit more than 4 years, to see back this volume growth. And again, I mean, that's so important for us, right? So on this strong volume growth, of course, we also continue to grow, or we expect to continue to grow in the fourth quarter and also beyond 2025. Did this go at the expense of margins? No, absolutely not. So we saw, again, a very high gross margin. So we are today at 41%. It's something, of course, that we don't explicitly disclose externally, but still, I think it's important to put this in perspective. So 41% in the single quarter of Q3 for North America total, knowing that if you go back 2 years ago, we were around 30%, right? So that's a tremendous achievement of all of us in North America to see that we push the margin above 40%. And this also comes back in the P&L because it also enables us, of course, to invest more behind our brands. So today we are investing around 10% of our margin. We actually invest in marketing, which is also an all-time high, right? And this is again driving also our brand equity. This, of course, also driving volume growth. So overall, it's for me a quarter, and I think I can speak on behalf of the whole ExCom. It's something to be very proud about. And of course, I'm looking forward also to the fourth quarter. Having said that, I'm handing back to Rajat.
Martijn, thank you very much. And I'm happy to share with you the update highlights and lowlights for our adhesive technologies business. So if you look at the highlights, it's always good to look at where we get appreciations and awards from our customers who pay all our bills and ultimately keep us in business. So the first award we see here is John Harrington, who is the business director, as well as Matt Crane, the key account manager, receiving an award from Graphics Packaging. And Graphics Packaging International is one of the largest manufacturers of paper articles where a lot of our Henkel's products go. And this award actually goes to our Emery, South Carolina manufacturing site for our Supplier Excellence Award that we received. And we are very, very happy to be recognized amongst many of our competitors to be the supplier of choice by one of our leading customers. So congratulations to the team on the packaging side. Then we have another award in our adhesive construction business. And here we see here Kelvin Harper receiving the award for a Supplier of the Year by the Engineered Wood Technology Association. And this is an award that you can only win through a voting in the association. And this is especially also important for us because in this business, We really make a very fundamental contribution to sustainability by enabling engineered wood, which actually substitutes for concrete. So we really make an impact on the global CO2 emissions in the construction industry. So congratulations to both the teams for winning these very valuable awards and being recognized for the value we create at the customers. At the same time, we have a diverse business, and while we still grow in quite a few other segments, as Martin also mentioned, we have a positive growth trend. We also see some slowdowns, and we see a weak consumer behavior that is particularly impacting our packaging business, consumer and packaging business. So consumers still hold back. And we have also seen quite a significant slowdown in light vehicle productions, especially in the electric vehicle segment. So that has also impacted some of our business where we have good content on those kinds of vehicles. Nevertheless, we stay fully invested in the long term in all of the business we operate in. With that, I would like to hand it. No, I have one more thing, message. So the next message, how do we want to finish the year? Well, you will see this more than once here. So we do want to finish the year strong. Yeah, and we want to finish the year strong by just focusing fully on our customers. So let's rally around delivering all our commitments that we have to our customers for the remainder of the year. And then we finish with a strong Q4. And now I think I get to hand over to Phil. Phil, over to you.
Thank you, Rajat. Truly impressive results and ambitions by the HAT team. So also from my side, a warm welcome and happy Monday to everyone. So let's look at the highs and lows of our HCB consumer business. First and foremost, we have just exited the TSA 1 phase of the retailer brands divestiture. So huge shout out to the team. This is a lot of work that comes on top of everything else, and the team has done a tremendous job. The buyer personally called me and congratulated us for the hard work that went into it, and they called us out as in being best in class on that. So really appreciate the hard work that goes into it. The second achievement here is positive OSG. Martijn mentioned it before. For HCB consumer, that means the first positive growth quarter since Q4 2023. So it's been a while, and everyone should give themselves a big pat on the shoulder right now. Huge achievement that you can be incredibly proud of. And last but not least, we have a substantial business with all three clear at Costco, but we always had a hard time getting a second SKU in. And now, as you visit your Costco warehouse, you can see Persil at a 12-week in and out promotion at Costco. So I personally went to each and every warehouse that I could reach and kissed every single bottle. Please ignore my steel toe flip-flops on this picture in the warehouse. So huge achievements by the team that you can be incredibly proud of. On the low side of things, yes, there's economic uncertainties that we are facing, and Walmart is struggling, and Walmart is a huge customer for us. There are certain shifts more into the club and value channel that we have to deal with. But I think it's important to acknowledge we are all playing on the same pitch. Our competition is as well, and they are accelerating their pressure. So I would take those lowlights and rather call them a challenge. Everyone tries to play their A game right now, and it's our job to do the exact same. Which brings me to what we should focus on for the remainder of the year. And Rajat, you stole my thunder here a bit. Hey, the week still has 6 weeks to go. So let's be laser sharp focused on the Q4 delivery and continue our growth trajectory. I mentioned it earlier, we have to win at Walmart. And this is not just at our Walmart team in Arkansas. This is at all our cross-functional teams that are supporting Walmart for an excellent delivery. It's also at the other account teams. We all know Walmart has a lot of power in this marketplace. So we need to be well aware of which promos we can and cannot play to not disrupt with the customer. So my kind ask is, please everyone, do your utmost and support Mike Mitchell and their team in Arkansas to win at Walmart, but also everywhere else, because it's all interrelated. Last but not least, if in doubt, if your initiative adds value, it's one of our Henkel leadership commitments to act as an entrepreneur. And I sometimes break it down, treat it like it's your ice cream truck. And my team recently mentioned that I use that metaphor so much that it's time to commit to an ice cream truck TED. I'm not quite there yet, but I would do a lot for 5% organic sales growth. So please surprise me positively and maybe I get some ink. With that, over to you, Melissa.
Thank you, Phil, and a warm welcome from my side. So if we go to the next slide, please. Well, I have a great honor to start with some very great news. Hair Pro US was honored as being the Country of the Year at the recent HCB Leadership Conference in September. This was awarded based on our contribution to furthering the agenda of better and bigger, as well as going above and beyond, and was based on a number of metrics, not just financial, although certainly financial, including top-line development, GP1 development, but also other metrics like pulse results, surveys. So super excited. Congratulations once again to the team. And this achievement really reflects the collaboration, passion, dedication, and our commitment to excellence. In terms of sales performance, we have had continued momentum despite a sluggish beginning to the year. So you may recall Q2, we recovered with over 3% OSG, and in Q3, we actually achieved 6.8% for North America. So really, really good sales performance in Q3. And I would also like to call out our Canadian team, who made a bit of a comeback in Q3, signaling renewed market momentum. So thank you to the Canadian team for all your hard work, and we're excited for you to continue ending the year strong. You see here my third bullet point. I have a lot of good news to share with you today. Kenra Professional, super excited to announce, ranked as the #1 styling brand, you guys, in the US, according to Klein. And this achievement really underscores the strength of the brand, the impact of the innovation, and the trust we've earned from hairstylists and consumers throughout the region. Last but not least, I want to talk to you guys about an exciting development. We're excited to reintroduce the Hair Professional Employee Store, which is an exciting benefit for all of you, as it provides employees with direct access to our super strong portfolio of brand products. You can select from over 175 products, with more coming soon. And you can enjoy up to 50% off retail prices of our top brands, all powered by the eSalon shopping platform. For more information, please check out the Henkel News Hub on how to sign up and get your benefit. So next slide. In terms of lowlights, you guys, I think it was mentioned at a number of inflection points throughout this presentation that we have continued challenges with the market conditions, stress and pressure from economic uncertainty, etc. But as you saw, we are certainly thriving and trying to break through with positive momentum. I would like to call out here a big thank you, actually, from my side and my entire team to the supply chain organization, because you may recall from earlier town halls, we started the year at a very suboptimal service level, but have made significant improvements throughout the year, as well as Q3, to achieve some all-time highs. So super excited about that. We came from a low light, but it's actually a highlight, and just wanted to thank our supply chain colleagues for their committed efforts and dedication to driving that result. So next slide. Just to end here, we are absolutely dedicated to driving our top line growth through our high impact initiatives. We have to have laser focus on what we're doing and execute with excellence to focus on better and bigger. And we anticipate finishing the year strong and setting a strong foundation for 2026. So thank you for your attention. And with that, I would like to throw it to Prayarna Kalu, the head of DX for North America.
Thank you, Melissa, and hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here today, and over the next few minutes, I would like to cover three things with you. One, a bit of AI context and how is it changing our world. Two, what it looks for us here at Henkel, and particularly in North America. And three, what it personally means for you. So I would like to kick us off next slide with a quote from Andrew Ng, who is a pioneer in AI and online learning. He said, AI is the new electricity. If we think about our life before electricity, most work was manual, it was slow, and it was tied to daylight. When electricity arrived, everything actually changed. Factories now could run 24/7. You could have new industries like telecommunication and computing that were born. And as we look at today, AI is a similar kind of foundational technology. It's already changing every field. If we think about medicine, education, product development, manufacturing, so on and so forth, everything is being impacted. So that sounds great. The question is, what does it look like for us at Henkel? Like many companies, we are on a journey. Over the last year, we have been very focused on experimenting, exploring various technologies, various use cases here at Henkel. We currently have 52 use cases running globally, and many of them are now starting to scale. So earlier, a lot of trying different things, and now it is about scaling, a lot of focus on scaling as well as adding value to the business. So on the next slide, I would like to zoom in on three examples from North America. First, on the left-hand side, you see Gluely 2.0, which is our AI assistant on LoctiteProducts.com. This was something that was released in August this year, and the concept is simple. It is how do we help our customers find the right Loctite product faster and easier. They don't need to know exactly what adhesives they want to use, what is the name of the product, etc. They describe their problem. In fact, I tried it personally a few weeks back, and my prompt was simple. I said, a metal part under my office chair has come loose. How do I fix it? And it is for indoor use. That was my prompt. And after a couple of interactions with our AI assistant, it recommended Loctite Super Glue Liquid Professional. And I have to say, my experience was quite good. It actually showed me the product information. It compared different products. I said, what else can I use? And then it even took me to a point where I could buy the product. So that was the end-to-end experience that this assistant is giving us. In the center is our design studio for HCB business. This is a proof of concept that we are currently doing with Google. We are using their Gemini product and essentially generating marketing concepts in very quick time, whether it is trying different hairstyles, trying different lighting, moods, storyboards, etc. This is just happening as we speak. Melissa was just talking about her brands, Joico and Kendra. So very excited to see some of the final products and also see how does this compare to Firefly, which we are also using here at Henkel. So as I was talking about, we are trying different technologies to see how they can help us and what makes sense for us as Henkel. On the right-hand side, you see Maya. Maya is an AI avatar and it is your personal AI hair coach trained on our Schwarzkopf professional assortments. So what she does is she can explain certain techniques to you, she can recommend the products, and support stylists during consultation and training. Rather than just talk about Maya, I would like to show you a quick video so you can see for yourself how this interaction feels like.
I'm Maya, your warm and encouraging hairdressing mentor, and I specialise in Blonde Me and its application. Are you ready to have some fun? Let's dive into an exciting quiz to test your knowledge on Blonde Me. I'll ask you 10 questions, starting from the basics and working our way up. Let's see how you do. Here's your first question. What technology does Blonde Me use to protect hair bonds during chemical processes?
I'm not 100% sure. Can you tell me?
Absolutely. The technology used by Blonde Me to protect hair bonds during chemical processes is called the dual bond system. It helps reduce damage and creates new bonds during color and lightening services. You're engaging with the material, which is fantastic.
Great. So if you think about the examples we just quickly covered, they all do the same thing. They provide better experience for our customers. They help us move faster and free our people to do more value-added work. So what does it mean for you as we think about it? I would like to leave you with a couple of concrete actions or call to actions here. One, please visit our AI Explorer Hub. You can type AI Explorer / in your browser. It is our one-stop shop for Gen AI at Henkel, whether it is to do with learning, use cases, what tools are available, what is the governance process. You can find everything at AI Henkel. It is being updated on a very frequent basis. So if you don't find something, you might find it in a little bit a later point of time. Second, please complete the Gen AI Foundations training. It's a short practical training. It gives you basics on how to use these tools confidently that we have been talking about, as well as responsibly. Number three, try Copilot Chat. I know many of you are already using it. However, we have been looking at some of the statistics on the Copilot Chat globally, and there's a lot of room to grow. There are very, very typical use cases like summarizing a document or drafting an email, brainstorming ideas. The best way to learn is to use these AI tools. So please go into it on a daily basis. And last but not the least is bring forward your AI ideas. A lot is going on within the business. We heard a number of business leaders talking about growing the growth strategy. How do we perform in the market? And so you have a lot of ideas, and what's very important is you essentially bring those forward, think about how we can support you from a technology perspective in these areas. Of course, we go through a demand intake process, look at the value that these technologies bring. So that's, of course, part of the game, but important that those ideas keep coming. So to close, I would just say that, we are going through a transformative time. AI is evolving. It is right that we might not have all the answers, and that's okay. What is very important is we all stay very close to what is happening, be curious, be open-minded, and learn by actually using these tools and pushing our imagination to see how can we use them to help our businesses. Thank you. And with that, over to you, Jenny.
Thank you, Prayana. That's very exciting. I'm looking forward to digging into some of the training myself. Warm welcome from my side. I already saw a question coming into the Slido asking about what Henkel's going to do to celebrate our 150-year anniversary. So let's go to the next slide, and I'll just share a very short preview. On September 26th next year, 2026, Henkel will be celebrating our 150th year anniversary as a company. So that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Our pioneering spirit is not only our root, but we believe it's our driving force for growth. So by celebrating our anniversary around the world, our goal is to do two things: honor that longstanding legacy, but also celebrate all of our employees, and to showcase our future readiness and competitive edge as a company to strengthen the Henkel reputation. So what are we doing here in North America? We're going to be activating this milestone across all levels. And the big things you'll see are continuing to build corporate partnerships to build our employer brand, as well as celebrate all of you with celebrations across our sites in the US and Canada. And our celebration of the anniversary is actually already starting. I like to start celebrating a birthday early when I can. And you probably already saw communication last month about the enhancement to our matching percentage for employees who enrolled in the employee share plan. And there's a little bit more coming next before the year is over. So just a little teaser. Very soon, you'll see communication in your inbox with a special benefit that celebrates each of you. Look for more details before the holidays about a one-time benefit you'll experience in 2026 to recognize and appreciate you for your engagement. So there's so much more to come. Look for more information next year because we believe that 150 years of Henkel has the power to inspire, the power to unite, and the power to take on the future. So thank you. And let's move ahead to our Q&A. And before we start looking at the Q&A, just one little teaser for a video that you'll see at the end of the Q&A. So please stay tuned after Rajat's closing remarks, because tomorrow marks our one-year anniversary of our partnership with US Soccer. And employees have been celebrating it across the region this year. We've distributed more than 250 tickets for employees to enjoy this benefit. And folks have attended from California to Madison Heights, matches in Austin, and even folks coming from Puerto Rico into the mainland to celebrate with us recently. So at the end of the town hall, just stay tuned after Rajat's closing remarks for a little celebration video where we hosted Karsten Knobel and Wolfgang Koning and celebrated with our employees. So now we're going to go to the Q&A. Again, you see the QR code there. I see some questions are already coming in, and you'll pardon me while I look down because I'm reading the Slido from my phone. I do want to repeat what Rajat asked for earlier. We love transparency, so it helps us to have some context about your question if you enter your name and your location, but we will still take questions that are upvoted from anonymous. So jumping into the first one, the question is around AI, so very topical for today, and it has to do with sustainability. So this is for you, Prayarna. How do we justify the use of AI while also stating it is important for sustainability, or our importance for sustainability?
Thanks, Jenny. That is a very good and a common question. For me, AI and sustainability are not two separate counter concepts. They have to move together. If we think about some of the things that we can do to ensure that, one, when we use AI, we have to be very conscious and pragmatic and selective about the technologies that we use, making sure that not every problem has the same AI model underneath it. So what I mean by that is there are certain problems where we might not need a large language model. An example, I was quoting our Loctite AI assistant. It has been built on GPT Mini. It's a different version, but appropriate for that type of use case. So that's just one example, making sure we choose the right models and right technologies. The second one, I would also say that we got to be conscious and make sure we are also measuring things. What I mean by that is, as an example, when we build the business cases I was talking about for AI, etc., including things like carbon footprint in the business cases. So that's another way to think about it. So again, this is an evolving area, making sure we use AI efficiently, measure the impact, measure what is being created and impacted through those activities.
Thanks, Prayarna. We have a lot more questions about AI and some other topics, but before we go through the other Slido questions, I want to come to a question that was pre-submitted for the town hall. And we see this sometimes in the Slido throughout the last couple of years. It's about smart work. So the question is anything going to be changing with smart work in North America? I'll turn that one over to you, Rajat.
Okay, smart work. So just to remind everybody, our smart work guideline, which we rolled out during the pandemic, which is long gone and thankfully so, is a 60-40 guideline, which means we say we like to see people 60% of the time coming into the offices and use the 40% to work from wherever you would like to work from. And that was always with the intention of providing the flexibility that allows us to be at our best, as well as to continue to still build a culture where coming in the office has certain benefits. By collaborating, innovating, we can sometimes solve topics very quickly by being in a common area rather than organizing always calls. So, and there's a joy of just building networks in person. So the policy will stay. We feel it's really successful. Yeah, and we would love to continue to see people coming in both in the offices and also then work, being wherever you want to be to work on your own. There's no change plan. So we feel it really, at the moment, it's working. And when we get the pulse check, we feel that's still highly valued. So it intends to stay in place, Jenny.
Great. Thank you, Rajat. And I think you'll see us next year doing some of these town halls at our sites in person as well. So that will work out great with our Smart Work program. Turning back to you, Prayarna, there's still a lot of questions about AI. And this one is, when can our region get Copilot Pro? We hear only a few users have access as part of a business pilot. Would be good for all the rest of us to have it as well.
Great. Now, another common question. Again, we are continuing to expand the usage of Pro. If you look at last year, we had less than 500 licenses. This year, we expanded it significantly, and there are active discussions on how do we continue that expansion. Of course, we recognize that there is a higher cost associated with Pro. And also recognizing that not everyone needs the Pro license. So we are going to very meticulously look at the usage, look at where is the need, and expand it further.
Terrific. Thank you very much. Now going to the next question. This one is for the business and our growth story around acquisitions. Are the recent acquisitions of Critica and Seal for Life meeting revenue and profit expectations? Martijn, can you give us some color on that?
Yeah, sure, Jenny. I think an excellent question. Short answer is yes. So if you look to the combined OSG of Seal for Life and Critica, so year to date, they are growing double digit. And also if you look at it individually, they also grow both, right? So it's not only coming from one of the two acquisitions. And I think that also underlines our strategy, right? So we are focusing very much on organic growth, but also, of course, for North America, particularly, the inorganic part is very important, right? So once we acquire a business and we integrate it into our platforms, and we see then consecutively that we have organic growth, that's of course for us very important. And both businesses have been very accretive to the North American business this year, particularly compared to last year. If you look to profit, both also accretive versus POI in terms of profit, right? So also if you look to our EPS targets on a global scale, both businesses are actually very much contributing. So of course, a big thank you to all the teams who have been involved. And as a reminder, right, so Critica went live on our SAP system in the beginning of the year. Seal for Life will go live as the 1st of January. And of course, they are then fully integrated into our overall Henkel world, which I think is also for us very important to also untap, of course, to unlock the offensive synergies as well. Handing back to Jenny.
Terrific. Good progress. The next question is, what can we do as individual employees, not in customer-facing roles, to help grow our North America business? So I'll start with you, Phil.
How much time do I have? So, hey, I think it's one of those questions where it would have been incredibly helpful to have a name or function to boil it down a bit. But in the absence of that, let me give it a generic answer. Everyone should ask themselves how they add value either to top or bottom line. And if you have a hard time identifying that within your areas, then use the ice cream truck metaphor that I've been giving you. Hey, if you are in forecasting teams, then Think about a better weather forecast to identify a sunny day where you have to have bigger stock at hand. If you are in procurement, think about how to better source cream at a higher quality at a less expensive price. If you work in sales and are customer facing, play your A game. If you're in HR, try to attract the best talent. Like, let's make it a thing. Tonight, everyone, when you brush your teeth, think about, how do I add value to either the top or the bottom line? That is the key question.
So
And if in
let's-
doubt, and I really don't mean it in a cynical way, reach out to your manager or really swing by my desk, and I'm happy to have that discussion as well in the most productive manner.
Thank you. Nice example. And those of us who are in functional roles, we are challenged to do this every day. So I'll call on one of my functional colleagues here, maybe Valeria, you could give your point of view on this.
Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. And hello, everyone. For me, it's a day-to-day thing. So from wherever we sit, as Phil said, so we definitely have an impact to do in our top line and bottom line, apart from buying our products, I would say. So definitely it's about in HR, how we attract people, how we make sure that we have the talent pipeline ready for avoiding having open roles for such a long time that are preventing us to go into our market, our customers, and serve them well. Is having our employees well-trained, upskilled for whenever our technologies are being changed or are needing to be used. Also the different skills, personal skills. So we are there ready to serve our customers and make sure that we can make an impact. Bottom line, the same. So it's related in my case, I would say, to efficiency, to the time we do, to the employee experience we have as well, to reducing and support the business, to reducing the turnover, the attrition that we have, supporting integrations for avoiding, cultural impacts that might affect business. So definitely, those are just some examples on how the functions and every single employee in functions can make a great impact in growth.
Thank you. That's a great example. And it's true that people drive our success across the businesses. So everything you're doing is so appreciated by all of us. Turning to operations now, Rajat, this question was listed for you. Can you share examples on how the business is pursuing to increase the synergy with AO, production and logistics to increase customer satisfaction?
Also, like Phil, how much time do we have? So let me share with you one example, which is a very concrete one. So last year and this year, there was a big rollout. There was a project on customer service transformation. And what that involved was rolling out a totally new Salesforce-based platform where how we do customer service, which means also how we interact with our customers and logistics and order processing, all the way from sales intake to delivery. We put a new system in place. It was a lot of work in the beginning. However, now the results are that we are able to provide a lot more transparency to our customers. We are also able to have a much better overview of where our orders are and how we are processing them. And then all of these things, they lead to a higher service level, a higher ability for providing transparency to our customers. So that's a great example of partnership and leveraging technology to elevate the customer experience.
Yeah, it is.
Jenny,
and I know
back to you.
the team's put a lot of work into that. So
Yeah.
thank you to all of them. So this next question is coming back to growth. And Melissa, I'll start with you. It is great to hear how important the North America market is to Henkel overall. What is Henkel doing to invest in talent? Oh, the questions are moving on me. In talent that supports this important market. So it's about what are we doing to invest in talent to support this market for our growth?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll invite Valeria as well to answer it. And I think there's another connected question, which talks about asking about a key initiative that each business is doing to bring that growth. So let me maybe start with that one, and then I'll speak to the talent piece and then ask Valeria to round that out. So I think it's a really good question. I don't think that it is any one thing. If we think of the analogy of the flywheel, there are a variety of different inputs that gets that flywheel moving. But I appreciate your question and wanting to have something tangible to hear. So one thing that comes to mind is that will absolutely drive growth is distribution expansion. And we talk a lot about the relentless pursuit of physical availability. And it's not just buzzwords here. It's really about driving deeper penetration in existing distribution channels to have a greater share of wallet, and also pursuing additional and incremental distribution channels, because the overarching theme that I believe both Phil and I believe in is being where our customers are. So that is one tangible kind of way that we are pursuing growth in North America. On the talent topic, talent is critical to our organizations, especially as we want to level up to next. We'll be upskilling, and that is something that we absolutely invest in North America overall. Certainly in hair professional, there is a significant amount of emphasis in upskilling every single one of our team members in hair, be it technical, hands in hair, market dynamics, field experience, because we really believe that is a key differentiating factor and a key success factor. I don't know, Valeria, if you would like to add any topic on talent, but please feel free.
Thank you, Melissa. And I fully agree that your initiatives definitely are helping grow our talent. And I would say we have different initiatives going on across Henkel, apart from what every single business and function are doing constantly on investing or keep, fostering different development programs and on the different talent landscape that we have. We have a very strong agenda that started already, but coming stronger next year. Stay tuned, you will hear more about people growth agenda, we call it. And it's about transforming our talent management, connecting business, strategy, connecting skills, development, individual growth. So different things that are going to come together. We are investing also in technology. We are investing in enabling also the talent to have even more, and I would say, more open opportunities into developing yourself within the organization. So having opportunities to apply to different projects, to upskill yourself based on your path or the path that you expect to have. I would say there is a concept that we call total rewards, that at the end is not just your salary in terms of investment, it's your benefits, it's your development. And you can learn even more about that in the newsletters that you probably receive at home on a regular basis. You will see different things that we are doing on that.
Thank you. And thank you to you both for addressing two questions at once. Not only the initiatives that the businesses are doing to drive our growth, but how we're investing in talent to make them possible. Very helpful to hear how those tie together. So for more examples from the business, I'll turn this one to you, Phil. It's about sustainability. And what is HCB Laundry and Home Care doing besides compaction to enable greater sustainability?
Yeah, very good question. And thank you, because I wasn't allowed to talk about compaction again, which I did the last 3 town halls, I think, in a row. So thank you for picking this up. Compaction is, of course, a big lever to sustainability for laundry, home care. But the road is endless. So we have just received the Leaping Bunny certification for all free clear. We also have that for Dial. We are at the moment reviewing the content of mixed PCR in our bottles. Everything we do, I think we shared in the context of the ERG Summit, what we are doing with NaviLens as well. So across our laundry and home care business, we are just as active, if not more active, on sustainability. By the way, by the end of this year, our entire production will be 100% renewable energy. So the list is endless on that. But it's also a good reminder, Jenny, we may want to cover that actually holistically in one of the upcoming town hall if it's an area of interest.
Always an area of interest at every town hall. We get lots of questions. And still lots of questions on AI. So Prayarna, where can we communicate AI use case ideas?
Super. Two things. One, we are starting to publish the AI use cases on AI Explorer Hub. So please look at that to see if an idea is already out there. If it is, there is also a contact that's going to be mentioned in those AI use cases, so you can reach out and make sure we don't create duplicate use cases. For the new ones that will be emerging, the short answer is we go through the demand intake process. There are DX business partners in each area, so please reach out to them and we will take through them that process.
Thank you. Appreciate that. So thank you to everybody for submitting questions. I see we have a few more that we're not going to have time to fully address. However, we do, as an ExCom, look at these together and make ourselves aware of what your interest is, make sure that we're communicating better and more frequently on those topics. And where it's helpful, we sometimes will publish additional information after the town hall, so you can look for that. And to thank all of you on the ExCom for answering the questions that have come in. Again, I want to stay tuned for a video after Rajat's closing remarks. And Rajat, I'll turn it over to you.
Jenny and my colleagues, thank you very much for actually first asking all these spirited questions. We didn't have time to still get through all of them, so we will be coming back. Also, your high engagement, that's always highly appreciated. So we have heard the story of getting on the growth track in Q3. Growth doesn't happen on its own in the environment that we are in. So that has required a lot of teamwork and a lot of collaboration and a lot of sweat and tears. So for all of that and the wonderful result that we have, a big thank you on behalf of the whole ExCom to everybody across US and Canada. We made it. Yeah, we made it. However, a good quarter doesn't make a year. So as we said, we relentlessly now focus on growth, and we stay also cautiously optimistic, I would say, for 26 as we close out this year, and then we start our new year. So let's continue to outperform our competitors. We have a good strategy across all the BUs, and let's capture what all the opportunities that are ahead of us. So again, a big thank you. And for the colleagues in the US who will be celebrating Thanksgiving next week, happy Thanksgiving in advance, and hopefully you have some chance to relax with your friends and family. And now we close the town hall with an exciting video of the partnership that we have embarked on with the United States Soccer Federation. So let's roll the video, and thank you, everybody.